I'm Zoe Delahunty-Light and I've been glued to Sons of the Forest since it released into early access, and during my 3 separate saves in the game, solo normal, a peaceful one for my base building dreams, and a multiplayer one, I've learnt quite a bit that made my survival journey a tad smoother, cannibals allowing. So here's some stuff you need to know, and I wish I had, for when you're getting started in Sons of the Forest. Now, you don't need to know the specifics of how I found this out, and it definitely wasn't a panicked button press when a cannibal jump scared me. Just know that if you're in a pinch and need some breathing and running room, if you're carrying logs, you can drop them in the direction of the cannibal, and it will hurt them. Granted, it's not a lot of damage, however, it does stag them and put 2 logs in between yourself and the cannibal, which gives you time to put out your rucksack and get out your club. Dried fish and meat lasts way longer than cooked and, unsurprisingly, raw meat. Just make sure you drink water after eating dried fish, as the dried fish dehydrates you with every fish you eat. This is especially important if you're away from a water source, or it's winter and you're relying on your 3D printed flask, as it does store a limited amount of water. Dried fish completely lacks moisture, so it does make sense they would dehydrate you. Just be smart if you're low on water. And a quick tip for winter as well, make sure to find running rivers and you'll be able to fill up your water bottle there. I struggled to find enough rope at the beginning of Sons of the Forest, and my poor tree house suffered for it. I had to watch that thing being unfinished for so long. If that sounds like you, especially the suffering, then do this. Follow the paths on your GPS tracker and soon enough you'll run into abandoned camps, or cannibal camps, which are riskier for obvious reasons, the latter of which has a ton of ropes in the lean-tos. I can't show footage of said camps, otherwise this video will get demonetized because of the new guidelines around video game violence on YouTube, so you'll just have to trust me with this one. Smash open coffins to find more rope, and if you do all those things, soon you'll have so much rope you won't know what to do with it. Rope bridges are a good bet though. Eventually, you're going to need a shovel, and to get that shovel, you're going to need what I called a rope gun. That means you're going to need to go into caves, and yep, that means a lot of cannibals and other creatures are going to be making your acquaintance. You can't find crafting recipes or these tools outside of the caves, so I'm putting all those thoughts to rest now. You are just going to have to put those thoughts of the descent in the back of your mind and go delving for them. Collecting the GPS trackers from your colleagues is quite the mission in the Sons of the Forest, so once you have them, don't let them go to waste. Once you collect the GPS trackers from your unfortunate colleagues, you can use them yourself to mark locations or people on the map. Change the icon they display and plant them on top of sticks to make the locations appear on your map. Plus, you can also give one to Virginia so you don't lose track of where she is. I find hooking up fish to the drying rack annoying because once it's already half filled, or if there's a gap between fish, it's easy to just munch on raw fish instead of hanging something new up. Look above the drying rack, however, and that hook icon will quickly appear, allowing you to hang fish up much easier. Cannibals might come at you with their scythes with a whole chest, but there is one way to make them regret heading your way. Always aim for the legs. Swiping at their knees with your club or axe will often make them fall over, and while they're scrabbling to get up, you can do a charged ground attack to deal massive damage. Try to ignore them pleading for their life, because they don't pause when it's you needing a break, do they? Kelvin is your well-meaning follower, and bless him, he's had quite the bump on the head and needs some direction. It doesn't take long at all to find enough sticks to build stick, log, and stone holders, which I recommend you do as soon as possible. Then you can instruct Kelvin to fill up these stick, log, and stone holders while you defend your camp or build yourself a hardier shelter. I recommend the tree/log option because you can leave the labour of chopping down a tree to Kelvin and then pick up the logs once they've fallen. Kelvin can only carry one at a time, so doing it yourself is quicker. Kelvin has the uncanny and weird ability to know what food source is nearby. Finding something to eat is obviously important in Sons of the Forest, so to figure out if you're near enough to berries, or even better, fish, look in the notebook you use to communicate with Kelvin. Under the Get option, if you see that fish is an option, it means that there are fish nearby. If that option doesn't come up, keep moving until you can settle somewhere near fish. Kelvin will happily fish for you, and he's way better at it than I am, so go ham, Kelvin. Always build on a grid. Don't do what I did at first and free build a structure because you won't be able to link up the logs, which means you can't put floorboards down and you'll have to disassemble everything and it's a massive pain. You need to build in squares so the snap function works with your structures. Kelvin can get downed by the cannibals that attack your base, and even though he's on all fours, that's as bad as it's gonna get for him. Cannibals can't kill Kelvin at all, and after a little while he'll even get up on his own, or you can heal him yourself and get him up sharpish. However, be really careful when you're swinging your club or axe around, as if you hit Kelvin when he's down, you will kill him, and Kelvin doesn't deserve that. Cannibals, despite being able to scale trees and climb over walls, are awful at climbing ropes. I have a lookout tower, and no matter how many times I scramble up there to bring out my bow and pick off those attacking my cottage, they never come up to stop me. So invest the huge amount of logs and build yourself a lookout tower. Keep some arrows up there, and when you come under attack, climb up and hold up there as the cannibals won't follow you up the rope. Cannibals can open doors and go inside structures though, so make sure to be careful when you're climbing down the lookout tower, as you do not want to be surprised by a cannibal in that close quarters space. Make sure to check the height of the trees you're chopping down. The taller the tree, the more logs you'll get for the same amount of effort you would put into chopping at a shorter tree. An obvious point, I know, but some of the trees in Sons of the Forest are stupidly tall, so it's worth remembering as they will surrender more logs. And God knows that in the beginning you're going to need as much of them as possible. There you go, that's what you need to know to survive a little bit longer in Sons of the Forest. I am utterly addicted to it right now, so be sure to drop any more tips you have, especially for the later game stages, in the comments below, and I'll give them a try myself. How are you finding Sons of the Forest so far, and is there anything you'd like to see a video on? Let me know in the comments below, as I would love to know how others are finding it. Personally, I love it so far. Also, please make sure you're being nice to Virginia, or I'll hunt you down and make you pay for the hurt you've done to her, because I adore her so much. And if you've made it this far, thanks so much for watching, and make sure you subscribe to Eurogamer and like this video for more Sons of the Forest videos from yours truly, Zoe Delahunty-Light, as we have a new video out almost every single day. Now, I'm gonna go and beef up my base a bit more and collect those bones from the fire, so I'll see you lot next time.